Mark, how are you?
Good, Jordan. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Just getting everybody up in here.
Cool.
Let me pull up the pledge.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello. Is that Fong?
It's Fong.
How are you?
I'm good. Late, getting ready for work. Someday I'll be ready by 8 a.m. and be able to actually go online and see everyone.
There you go. All right. So I'm going to just go ahead and start. If anybody comes in, I'll just click them in. But I'll give you kind of a rundown of what's been happening behind the scenes. We'll do some questions and answers, and then we'll go into the meditation. And today should be short and sweet, but we'll start it with the pledge and basically saying today is Monday, March 8th, 2021. And this is the PHIRE Fireside Chat. And the pledge is, I pledge my mind to the respectful recognition of the sovereign liberty essential to human dignity. I pledge my hands to the creation and maintenance of communal, cultural, and ecological prosperity. I pledge my eyes to watch over the integrity of truth and justice with the acceptance of the natural balance of diversity and equality. I pledge my heart to the connection that binds all of us throughout creation, and I pledge my whole being with humility and love to the grateful service of all sentient beings and human consciousness, and I will duly act in accordance to the principles derived from such wisdom. Welcome. So it's been quite an eventful week and weekend since last Monday's Fireside Chat. I went to a secret R&D lab, which had some really incredible technology in the form of sensors and stuff that will really leapfrog us straight into the market in a very big and profound way, which is kind of interesting because the PHIRE phone might actually be available before the PHIRE app is, which is quite remarkable. The ability of these sensors and the camera that will be installed in the phone blows out all the other camera phones on the market at this time, even Apple, but also what it's able to do in terms of functionality. Like, we'll be able to roll out a phone that can test for COVID just by scanning it over you, search for bombs, determine the validity or veracity of gold, make sure it's not tungsten or anything like that. And this will be really remarkable in so many ways. So that has been a big part of what we've been working on, as well as getting together LOIs with a bunch of companies, which will essentially put us in a position that most banks aren't even in a position to, meaning we'll be able to do a KYC AML process for people coming into the PHIRE ecosystem that has been reserved for central banks, essentially. And in conjunction with the sensor, like, we're going to have one of the most secure platforms on the market, which is like really incredible for such a fledgling startup. It basically comes down to the importance of the mission of PHIRE, which is to create a safe and secure ecosystem where people can trust the people who are kind of shepherding or stewarding the company, the cooperative, with such granularity and accountability that the idea of corruption seeping into the system is, something that will game out for 1,000 years. Like, people won't be able to corrupt it. We're working with a couple companies, one of which has a power technology. I might have mentioned this last time, that will essentially be able to, we can put a shipping container in a community and power the whole community with that. We have technology that allows us to take what is essentially biochar and put it into the formation of pellets that are usable in coal plants, current coal plants, so they don't have to be remanufactured or retooled, but they can burn this biochar, and it's way more clean than even some of the most cleanest energies out there. It's the only fuel source that actually meets the Paris Climate Accords. Not that that's one of the most amazing things on the planet, but it is a standard that we can say we meet, right? Which opens up a whole lot of doors for us in really good ways. And so the conjunction of those technologies, the KYC process, the AML process, and the sensor technology will have one of the most secure systems that can verify that you are who you say you are and help us prevent and identify money laundering or trafficking or any of these other these blights upon our planet. So that has been a big function of the last week, as well as getting the LOIs together with those companies so that we have a number of different groups that want to just completely fund us. And we're structuring that funding in such a way that we get to maintain control of FIRE Global Partners, which is the parent company of FIRE, which builds the technology, licenses it to others, but essentially creates the global cooperative that is FIRE. And so that's looking really good. Like things, if all goes well, we'll be able to build our first hub this year, or at least break ground on it, get a lot of phones into the right hands to be able to do proper security and health checking, making vaccine passports and all of that shit obsolete already, which is to me like a huge endeavor and a huge feather in our cap if we can make that happen. And all of the groups that are looking to bankroll us are they already love us and want to do this, but then when we show them that and we demonstrate and say like we can be doing X amount of business in the next X amount of months, they're all going to be clamoring, and we'll be in a better negotiating position to say, you know, we don't want to give up control of the company, but we will happily give you these FIRE tokens in exchange for your investment, which will allow you, and most of them, the people who are looking at us to invest are banks, actually. Not banks that you would know. They're more like commodity banks and sovereign banks and stuff. But this will allow you, the bank, to become a market maker for all of these new clients that we come on with, because you're going to be getting a large portion of their Genesis issuance. So that's really all super exciting and just kind of builds us up for success, you know. And I look to the next 2 weeks as very pivotal weeks behind the scenes for securing all of this funding and contracts. We actually have client contracts on the table and a lot of really amazing C-level people coming into the organization, the type of people who have marketing experience for some of the largest manufacturers in the world, big names that you would know like GE and some of the others. They're actually like super well connected and vetted, and would be able to open up the kind of government contracts that we would need for, you know, a couple 100 million units of these phones once we can demonstrate the veracity of them and testing, right? Which is very exciting. So like all of the stars are aligning, all of the vectors are, you know, converging, and we look to be in a really great position in the next couple weeks here. On a personal side note, kind of, Bit Basel is happening along with Art Basel in Miami in the near future. And they've been looking for blockchain artists, people who have artwork and works of art, music, videos, all of that, to feature as a speaker and as the world of NFTs. So I have an NFT team together that is putting all of my works, including Baseline, onto NFTs, and those will be displayed at Bit Basel and Art Basel, hopefully. And that meeting's happening this week. This is good for FIRE for a number of reasons, because it opens up our story essentially to the greater public. Oh my God, I have something to show you all. Give me 1 second. I got the video back from the party. Let's see how I can do this. I will go from my phone and airdrop them. Oh, I can't airdrop until I take that off. And I will airdrop them to the Mac. And then I'll share my screen and you guys will be able to see the video. So that will be kind of fun. Okay, it's sending right now. So that's gonna be cool. There's 3 videos. There's one that's a recap of the entire party, and not any speaking or anything, just imagery and music and video. And then one that explains FIRE, like a short kind of like promotional clip for FIRE, and then one as a short promotional clip for the FIRE token. And I'm going to put those up on the website very shortly, hopefully today, now that I'm sitting at my laptop. And so the Bit Basel thing is good because then it opens up FIRE to a number of new eyes and very well connected eyes, I guess, as well as, let's see. So I received these 3 videos. Let me open it. Okay, here we go. Full screen, and then let me share screen. Can everybody see that?
For right now, it just says it's loading.
Is it a black screen?
Screen
Yeah, it says
sharing.
Xavier Hawk has started screen sharing. That's all it says right now.
Do you see the PHIRE logo?
No, it's just black. All right, now we do. It's up.
What do you see?
It says fire on. You can see like the media player at the bottom of it.
Okay. All right, so here we go.
Greetings, citizen. My name is Xavier Hawk, and I'm here to tell you about PHIRE. PHIRE is a decentralized cooperative banking system that you are a part owner of, where we don't manage your funds, but you do. However, we do process transaction fees, and we put those transaction fees as profits into a pool. You get to decide how we spend that, since you are part owner, and using our proprietary socioeconomic governance tool that allows us to come to consensus decisions in asynchronous, real-time, and secure means. Imagine being able to choose where your taxes went. The world look different? Our premise is that if we all get to make decisions together on how we want to see the world go and have the economic horsepower behind it, then the world could be amazing. The world of balance, peace, of beauty, and well-being. And this is the power of PHIRE, where you can decide on how the surplus of our profits go and how we build the world together. With PHIRE, the choice is yours. So please make it a great day.
Okay, blind reaction, go. Anyone?
Oh, we could only hear the audio. We couldn't see a video.
Oh, come on. All right, let me see how I can.
That's great.
But it sounded great. All right, let's see. How about this? We'll just share the.
It seems to be updated now because we can actually see your mouse moving.
Okay. How about now? Are you seeing my
Your
screen?
desktop is busy.
Yeah, we're seeing everything moving around, so I think you're
Okay.
good now.
All right, let's try this one then.
There you go.
Yeah, you see it?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's working.
Looking good.
I don't know about everybody else, but I can see the video, but not the audio now.
Yeah, you could see it, but you can't hear it.
Come on. Really?
Third time's
Like
the
they're
charm.
trading one for the other.
You can't see, you can see it, but you can't hear the audio, huh?
Nice looking video though. Everyone looks like they're having a great time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like a great
Yeah, the
party.
video was great.
All right, let me see. You guys are seeing my desktop right now, right?
Yeah.
Is it the same case here? You can see the video, but you can't hear it?
Greetings, citizen. My name is
I just
Xavier.
got
Now
a
we
white
can hear it
screen.
and can't see it.
What's
Nope.
that?
Can't see it.
Well, we can hear it.
You can hear no see.
All right, let me try it this way. One participant can share at a time, multiple participants can share. Let's do this,
Technology at its finest.
right? I wonder if it would work this way. Let's see if we can share my phone via AirPlay. Nope. Okay. We'll give it one more try. All right, you should be able to see my desktop. And you don't hear it?
No, that time it was actually good.
You can hear it?
Yep, we can hear it and see it.
Nice.
Is it supposed to have audio? Because there is none.
Yeah, it's got a music track.
Gotcha.
The audio goes in and out.
Yeah, you can only hear some of the beat and then it stops.
Nice.
But again, it looks like they're having a great time.
I really like those girls in white.
Yeah.
Love them. Nice.
Those robots were awesome.
I love that drum. I was in love with it.
Yeah. That's my daughter. Right there.
Oh.
That's the flyboarding Jesus. I would have liked some more of him. So yeah, that's that. And so you're saying that you guys didn't hear the audio, huh?
No.
That's so weird.
The audio was very, very faint.
Yeah, we
Like it
can
was
only hear it
capturing-
when you actually talked.
Oh, really? Oh, I see. Because it was not, it's sharing the screen and capturing my audio. So I'll put that video up on the website and I'll share it on the chat and in the app. And then I guess rather than try to, what is this?
Welcome to
Oh, that's not what
It looked like a great party, though.
it was. A whole lot of fun. It really, really.
Yeah, it really was.
And then he's got this. I guess you're not going to be able to hear the audio, but he did 2 more videos. One about the FHIRE token and one about FHIRE. Either way, I'll put those all up. I thought I'd give you guys a first sneak peek at it, though. So yeah, so I'm going to take all of that stuff to Bit Basel and build the brand. And there's like a big event that's happening here at an airplane hangar. Like Florida's open pretty much. And so we're going to just start hobnobbing and kind of getting around with all these folks. And I think next week's fireside chat, I'm hoping and praying that it becomes like a big announcement. You know what I mean? I'm really excited for it. If it's not then, it's the week after. So that's sort of the timeline I'm on. I've got all of these little projects to be doing, like getting all of the NFTs together. I want to put up the baseline shirts and mugs and stuff up for sale on PHIRE.com. We've got some more FHIRE products coming out. So a lot of fun little things, as well as, you know, some of the bigger content stuff. Oh, and this week we should see an update on the app. Don't hold me to that, but I spoke with the dev team last week, and they were saying that a lot of the bugs and fixes will be ready hopefully this week. That being said, when I spoke with them and spoke with one of our new dev and technology providers, and like when I went in the process of making my own NFTs, I really loved some of these new Web 3.0 kind of apps that are out now. They're super clean and super functional. I went through a process last week of doing some UI and UX for the new version. Let me see if I can show you that. Give you a sort of behind the scenes look here. All right, let me do some screen sharing again, but this is no audio, so it should be good. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see a Canvas screen?
Yeah, we see what you see.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, great. So like you log in and you have your photo, your personalized QR code basically, and then your rating in the system, and then all of your notifications right there instead of like up here and kind of annoying. And then you have like your primary navigations, but you can swipe up and down and you'll have your wallet with all of your different kind of tokens in it. Right. And then like your wallet, like sending and receiving and requesting, that'll function much like a current wallet system. And then a breakdown of like all of your different ratings and how and why, a feed that looks more like this. And, you know, I've been kind of going over some of this stuff with the dev team and the design team, so that we can have more of like a Web 3.0 feel where it's very simplified, very clean. You know, a lot of what we're looking at now on the app looks like the 2010s, you know, and I think it's time that we make it all kind of updated and look like the future, because that's the whole purpose of this, building a framework that we can operate in the future with, that's secure and that doesn't get out of balance in the way that it has with, you know, with all the triple letter agencies and all of this.
So this will be for this update.
That will not be for this update. This
Okay.
update is mostly like the bug fixes and, you know, some of the real annoying little things. And then as we build out and as the next 2 weeks progress, we're going to be able to bring on a much heavier, more advanced dev team and really like go probably to a progressive web app so it could be usable on all the platforms. And you can just create an icon and we can probably bypass the stores like the iOS and the Google Play Store. At least, you know, in terms of necessity. Like I don't want to be removed from any of those. So I want to build it in such a way where you can get to it even without those, right? So in terms of operational security, that's kind of like the goal there. So I'm going to look at some of these messages in the group chat. There was no video. Yeah, we passed that. About the app, I want to say that I would like to be able to click on the notifications and go directly to the post inside the chat. Yeah, right? Same here. Damn. I followed different chats, and when I see a notification that interests me, then I need to find out, yeah, that's annoying. Like a lot of those things are the things that I'm hoping are going to be fixed this time around. So that's kind of like the goal there. When will the wallets be available approximately? My hope is that midsummer. We'll see how the next 2 weeks go, and then once we have secured our partners, then it's like full steam ahead. So we've got a lot of it, you know, built in a lot of the components already ready. They just need to be integrated, and for that we need a special team to do that. So that's my goal. It's kind of like, and that's why I wanted to just hold off on getting people on the app yet. The real reason I wanted the app was to start testing things, find out what everybody wants, figure out what we really need to do to it, and then use that to leverage into new clients and new investors, and then bring it in and kind of fix it all up the way we really want, you know? It's kind of like when you buy a house, you get the house as it is and you're like, I'd like this wall over here, a door here, you know, that kind of thing. So that's where we're at with that. Does anybody else have any questions? I'm looking to see if there are any new folks on here that I haven't seen before. but if anybody has, go ahead, Tom.
When I wake up in the morning, I want to turn on the app and I want to see your video update as a main thing that I can just see that video and I don't have to scroll through everything else to try to find your update. That's one main thing like that I want from the app is that morning video, whether it's you or it's something important. What's the one thing I need to know in the morning waking up that's right there in front of me?
That's awesome. Yes, that's what I wanted as well. You know, it's like the daily news for the day, right? Like the things that give you a kind of good idea where everything's at, and then you can go about, you know, digging deeper into whatever you need to or doing whatever business you need to. Yes. I can currently take it from YouTube and post it on the feed. I don't know if it shows up first and if we can pin it or something like that, but that's something that how about this? I commit to posting Baseline every morning, along with all of my other other platforms that I posted on every day in the main feed, the YouTube video. Is that something that would be good for you guys?
Yes, because the only reason I'm using Telegram is because that's where I know the combination to find the morning update. When I go to the PHIRE app, I'm not finding it right in front of my face.
Right on. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. And then we'll see about getting it be like the main channel, like PHIRE's main channel, right? Like PHIRE needs to have a main channel, and then Baseline needs to have a main channel, and everybody needs to subscribe to it. I think what I also want is, you know, in your channels, and I had a good long discussion with the dev team about this, and they said we don't recommend this, but what I wanted initially was to be able to go to the channels, the content that's, you know, not provided by people in the app or user content, and subscribe to it and see that in my daily feed. And the thing about that they said was that if you do that, then all of your content in your main feed will be those channel contents, and it'll be like outweighed by all of your friends' content at first, and maybe even in the long term, and it would unbalance sort of the app. But in some ways, like, I want a content aggregator, you know, and so I'm going through and finding, like, I want to be able to say, these are the channels that I listen to every day, and I want to see them every day in my feed, you know? So it becomes a balance of how much user generated content and how much of the, you know, podcasts, websites, YouTube videos from other channels is in there. So let's take a show of hands. What do you all think because right now the feed is sort of, the main feed is sort of like generic photos of updates that you all are doing. Like, I set my morning intentions today, you know, and a lot of the main function of the system is to encourage you to do those things and have that validation from your friends and cohort. But also, like, I want to be able to get all my content in one source. Let's just go down the list and see what everybody thinks about that. Tom, since you brought up the question, you get to go first.
The first thing that you kind of touched on this last week that had me laughing is, let's say a vegan says, I ate healthy today, and it automatically pops up a picture of, you know, bacon and eggs, which somebody might consider a healthy breakfast, but a vegan now has this auto-generated photo.
Right.
I think those auto-generated photos are kind of taken away from people wanting to be on the feed.
Yeah.
When I go to YouTube and I hit, what do I subscribe? I see the content that I subscribe to, but I don't have to see everybody's comment on that unless I choose to look at their comments.
Yeah.
So I just feel like everybody's comments on something is bearing the main thing that I would want to pay attention to.
So you vote for content showing up on your feed that you subscribe to from the channel's feeds? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Aaron Lewis.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Honestly, at the moment, I actually don't have an opinion. I'm about 45 minutes into this community. So I have,
well, hell yeah.
I literally watched one of your videos on TikTok, and I finally started following the trail and ended up seeing the link to this. So I said, okay, well, I'm trying to learn about what's going on. So I really don't know anything about the app. I don't know anything about anything. So
wow.
I'd hate to contribute something when I don't know what to contribute or what's needed.
Dude, respect. Thank you. And welcome. So PHIRE is essentially a decentralized cooperative bank. And what that means is that you are part owner. When you end up using the app, which is in beta right now, and everybody here is part of the team that has been testing it. They found me a while ago, whether it was interviews with David Whitehead or on Bernard Gunther's show or from the Survival Podcast or all of these other things. And have kind of joined on this adventure to create a decentralized governance system for the world based on a decentralized cooperative banking system. It's based on crypto. And what we do is we have like a social media app. Looks like this. It's called, oh, you're not going to be, there you go. I can lower the.
I saw the PHIRE logo.
Yeah. So it's basically like a social media app. It doesn't look great there, but
I believe you. It's there.
Yeah, it's there, and it's got a lot of the functions of Telegram, YouTube, and Instagram, and gosh, like soon to be like TikTok, and basically all the cool functions of all the apps that people are used to using, but with an administrative governance system and functionality, as well as a wallet system. So it's essentially your bank account and cryptocurrency that you manage, and as you go and use that cryptocurrency and or spend it on a card that we provide you with, like a bank would provide you with a card, we keep the transaction fees as a cooperative. And then as the profits roll in, you all member owners who are using the system get to vote on how those profits are spent. So imagine if you could choose where your taxes went with the granularity of saying, I want $100 of my taxes to go to this school, to go to the military, to go to wherever. It's a much more accountable system of self-harvesting of economic life force, meaning
gives you more of a voice of what's actually going on.
Boom. So we get to steer Spaceship Earth together. We put the economic horsepower of millions and millions of people together and vote on how we spend the profits. How do we grow our civilization together? And a big part of this is also we're going to be building what are called PHIRE hubs, which are real world examples of what the future looks like, where you walk up to a door and it opens automatically because the key is in your ring or in your NFT brooch or whatever it might be, or on your phone, right? And it's essentially putting banking back in your hands. And instead of our life forces, our economic life force, our dollars, our passion, our calories, our hours being harvested by people who would go and use that for ends that we wouldn't agree with, we get to use it ourselves and decide together how we want to build civilization. That's it in a nutshell. And so we're just kind of going over some aspects of the app and everything. So I welcome. Can you tell us your name? It's Aaron, obviously, and what your superpower is, and what you want to see for the world, really.
The thing is I'm a 22-year retired military vet.
Thank you.
And I've already seen enough of what the world has to destroy. So pretty much anything to build it. That's what I want to see.
Nice. Well, thank you. And what's your
superpower? I'm a parent. I got 5 kids. That's my superpower.
Oh, you're practically Catholic. That's amazing.
But
so I'm a dad as well.
Like I said, I'm retired military. I'm a full-time student, full-time employee. I had to get a real job when I retired from the military, as we say.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to live in the world that is now 2021, which, wow, what a glorious adventure this year has been already.
Yeah, totally. Well, thank you for joining us, Aaron. Thanks for going down the rabbit hole and finding us and taking part. I hope you get some value out of this and, get to see your dreams come true of building a world rather than destroying one.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. All right. So Daniel, your answer to the question of content in the main feed, channel content in the main feed, or continuation with the stats sort of thing that we're doing.
I don't even remember what I said, actually.
So the question is, in the main feed, and it was brought up by Tom, and he was like, I want to see baseline every day. And then it made me think like, oh yeah, I had this conversation. I want to see the content from the channels that I choose, the podcast, the YouTube channels, show up in my main feed so I don't have to go searching for them, measured against the balance of seeing everybody's updates with their meditations or whatever they're doing. What would you prefer to see on that main feed?
Well, I know like that was one of the biggest things. Every time I would go to like what would be like the Facebook look, like you would literally see everybody's thing. And like he was saying, like, you know, they'd pick the same pictures or whatever. There are some things like if one of the videos wasn't actually working, you would go back to like the main feed and it'd be like, oh, they watched and there was nothing there.
Right.
So even if we would hit, you know, select post or whatever, you'd go to it and then it would go back to the main feed and be like, oh yeah, you watched it. I didn't do anything yet.
Yeah.
But pretty much making everything simple, like the notifications. Like I don't think we need to know, like I said, or like you said, when everybody chats to whatever. Like on Telegram, when I log in, now usually like if I'm at work, I mute it. But when I come back, I can see like how many people have messaged since, and it stays where I last left until I scroll down and I can go back through if I want to, as long as it's not like 200, 300 people that have said anything since. But like the tagging people was one of the biggest things. I don't know if that works yet.
I'm hoping so.
So
I still have to get an update from them.
Oh, yeah, and like the if you want to comment on somebody's like particular thing, like the little swipe right thing, so it, like kind of copies it, and then that way, like if I say something to it, they can click back like what they said, and it'll go right to that message again. So I really did like that from Telegram.
Yeah. All these things will come eventually. It's just a matter of workflow and the order of their procedures. You know. All right. Well, thanks, dude. All right, Mr. Gitterman. The question specifically is, would you like to see in the main feed the content from the channels you choose or the updates of people's, like, I've meditated today and those generic pictures?
Personally, I'd rather have like kind of program it for me, you know, if I could do that. I mean, I haven't really gotten into it. I sign on every day. What a great community. I can tell you that. It's great community.
Yeah, thanks.
But you know, I'm not a big social media guy. I mean, I guess I'm here now.
Yeah.
But if I can kind of program it, you know, to suit me, that'd be really cool. You know, I definitely want to see a baseline there. That would be great because, you know, I flip onto Facebook to see it sometimes, or Library of Odyssey. It'd be great just to have it there. I think a lot of people are getting involved with the application because of the success of that video. So we all have that in common. So I'd love to see it there.
Agreed. Okay, I'm gonna try while we're on right now, and put it up. Today's 3/8/21, and what was the title? It was I think, Cosmic Context. That's right. See if that works. I've been trying to post it natively and it doesn't seem to want to do it, but anytime I do the YouTube version of it, it totally works. All right. So thanks, Mr. Jordan Gitterman. Next up is Christina. On the feed, if you would want to see your channels that you've chosen or the updates from people.
Hi, everyone. I would prefer channels, but I would also like to customize my own.
Yeah.
If some days I'm motivated, then I want to see, you know, my goals and everything. And some days I'm driven by, you know, what's going on in the channels. So customizable would be great.
Okay, awesome. I kind of feel like that's going to be our go-to at this point. Like, but let's hear from everybody else. And unless there's, you know, somebody's got a contrary view that might be really, you know, good to reason about, let's do it. Thanks, Christina. So next up is Laura.
I think I would like definitely the baseline first thing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, mostly the things I subscribe or my interests, but also like Instagram sometimes do suggestions of things that are related to what your interests are. So I like, because sometimes I just find amazing pages that I had no idea existed because of the suggestions.
Yeah.
So I would like suggestions like, hey, this person is interested in what you're interested. So, you know, or, you know, this group or something, check them out or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great idea. In fact, that's part of our rollout plan too. As the next iterations come, when you first log in and you first sign up, it'll ask you what your interests are, kind of like some of the other apps. in like, I like business, I like this, I like that, and it'll start giving you those suggestions based upon, and then as you behave in the app more and produce content or watch content, it'll be able to read that. But that's coming down the line. That's not our near term. Basically, like we want to get the ship tight and then do all the cool augmentation on it, you know?
Definitely. No, I am super excited about the wallet. Like,
Me too.
oh my God, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Laura. Oh, and you will be able to exchange, like you'll be able to go from one coin to the other coin as needed whenever, because it'll be built in. The exchange will be built right in. And I just had a phone call with an associate, and there's a huge exchange that does commodity trading at a very large level. And we're going to explore looking into partnering with them to be able to do kind of like, if you're familiar with Kayak or Expedia, where you find flights at the best rates, we're going to try to do that across a number of different exchanges, which would be really cool.
That is super cool. I do, poor trading, I'm not like a super big trader, but I do sometimes play with stocks and crypto, and it would be awesome to feel secure, that because so many other of these platforms, you don't feel very secure. So.
That's right. Well, thanks, Laura. All right, Miss Fong B. Oh, you might be at work. I just realized.
No, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I was brushing my teeth. Hi. I like the idea that the baseline for the day is accessible. I think that's great. And then I think that if we I think customization is where it's at, honestly. I personally don't have a preference, but I think users are more into the customization part of it.
I agree. I was looking at the feed and I'm like, yeah, this is cool to see everybody's, but I'm seeing the same, like, why can't we post our own photos for our achievements or whatever? That would be much more engaging, And then I was like that. Yeah, so that's what I told him that I'd like to see. And then also the more I'm thinking about it and the more I'm hearing all of you all, it's like it does make more sense to see the channels we choose rather than having to go through the channels and then go to the specific channel. It's like, we've got this great content aggregation tool. Why don't we just use it for that? So awesome.
But we can do that now, can't we? Post our own photos for our achievement.
Oh yeah. Well, it depends. If you go in and go to your achievement, let me check and make sure. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I go to my AM goals and I go to self-care and I did my yoga and stretched. Yeah, you can snap it, right? But if I go to spent time in nature, yeah, I guess you can snap it. Went for a walk and a run. I guess you're right.
Because I did that once for my water thing.
You know what? You just taught me, and I have been a donkey this whole time. Okay, so like I can go to my affirmations, and then I can snap it, and then I can go to library, and then I can choose my photo that I want for those affirmations, like spent time in nature. Cool. All right.
But it is motivating to see what other people are doing. It does motivate me, not that I'm doing it, but it mentally motivates me.
Yeah. So then what do you think about the balance then of, here, I'll post this one because this looks really cool. Spent the weekend at this dope forest hostel. Because then it will be, you'll have a lot of content from your channels, right? And some of those motivational ones might be lost in all that content. Because let's say, like me, I chose maybe 20 channels that I subscribe to,
right?
But I don't see them any day. I've subscribed to them. I want to see them, but I don't, because they don't show up anywhere. I have to go and look in the channel for it. So, seeing it in my content feed might like unbalance the ratio of like what I see of everybody's
right.
Today.
Because sometimes you stumble, as you scroll, you stumble upon something that you weren't necessarily looking for, but it is very of interest to you.
Yeah.
And then you participate or learn about it or do a deep dive. So make the mixture be better.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I thank you for teaching me how to use my own goddamn app, and then B, I think that there's a ratio in there, and it might be the golden ratio actually between the content that you subscribe to and the content that is produced by your friends and you. Boom, that's what I'm going to do. But I want to give Teresa a chance to speak to this issue before we finalize the decision on it. So Teresa, thank you, Fong, by the way.
No worries.
So Teresa, if you'd like to chime in on the topic.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey.
Yes, I like the idea of being able to personalize and put in your own feeds. One thing that I've been having a little bit of a challenge is when I do post personal messages or something from my library, they're not always centered, and the whole message or the whole picture doesn't always come through.
I missed that. It's not always what?
When I post a picture from the library, the whole picture doesn't always come through, and there are lots of times that there are written messages, so the message is not coming through, the whole picture itself.
Because it automatically crops it to a specific size, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't like that either.
And then I've also had a little bit of a challenge trying to post anything from anywhere else, whether it be YouTube or any kind of videos or instructionals or anything like that. I've had a challenge being able to post anything like that. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, or I'm just not sure.
Well, for instance, on the feed, so now they did a change here where you know, it's the PHIRE logo and then the leaderboards for the day, and then right here it has you know, automatically post. It's got a camera, library, GIFs, and YouTube.
Yes.
So they have a bunch of GIFs, which is cool because it's Giphy, but they have YouTube, so you can go and paste the YouTube link. But to do that, like, let me type in Xavier Hawk and see what that does. It doesn't. You have to go and paste you have to go get the YouTube video. Like, I'll go to YouTube and then go to baseline and then pick the video, share video. See, it's like all of these steps. It would be nice for it to just be a YouTube search right in there, you know?
Right, and what I found too is it's just giving the link versus the video, but again, I may be doing something wrong. So I'll keep trying on that one.
Okay. So there we go.
But thanks for being here. Love everything you're doing. Love you so much, and I'm here to do whatever I can to help.
God bless you. Thank you so much. And I really do appreciate each one of you, like, you know, showing up and doing this. It's not always glamorous and parties and, you know, it's a lot of coding and meetings and not fun stuff. And I try to keep it as entertaining as possible and as engaging as possible and I haven't been able to post as much as I want to because I've been like a lot of times driving. It was like I guess what was it? Thursday Thursday I was 3-hour drive one way, an 8-hour meeting literally, and I didn't look at my phone except twice during that whole 8-hour meeting, which was remarkable for me because I often do look at it much more. So, you know, it might not look like there's a bunch happening, and I try to keep everybody in the loop and updated as much as possible. So thank you for your continued you know, engagement and like being interested and seeing the bigger vision, the long-term vision, because, you know, sometimes it's easy to not keep that North Star focus on the compass and kind of get distracted with everything else that's going on. So I appreciate you all for being there. Making the world a better place one day at a time. Thank you for all you do. Thanks, Laura. So I think what we'll do is we'll end the official fireside chat unless anybody has any questions or last minute things that they'd like to state.
Just one quick thing, going back to the NFTs and the artists.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I have some pretty well-known artists who regularly go to Basel. What should they do? Just put them in touch with you?
Yes, I actually have an NFT team together now, and that's a service that we're providing for people who want to put their art on the blockchain. Also, should I talk about that? Okay, so we're talking with one of the biggest real estate agents companies down here in Florida. They want to put all of their deeds and properties on NFTs and blockchain. So you would actually be able to just buy the deed through a tokenized exchange, you know, instead of doing the traditional route. And like, it's a huge contract. They have like a couple thousand properties. So that's a service we're providing, and I'm gonna have that meeting this week. So if you do have artists who want to get on the NFT bandwagon, we have all of the different exchanges, like Atomic Hub, Rarible, Mint, Mintbase, and OpenSea, all of them. And our team is capable of doing that at whatever you want. Like if you want 10 of a kind or whatever. Do you know much about art, Mr. Gitterman, and how it's used in terms of taxes and tax deferring and all that?
Somewhat. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm an expert, but I know a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, hit me up. We'll have a conversation about that. It's a super hot market, especially for the very wealthy, because of all of the cool benefits that it provides them in terms of donation and donating art and that kind of thing. So if you have artists or anybody who wants to do that, happy to have a conversation with you and them.
So maybe I'll start off with Enrique Martinez. He used to be on Atlantic Avenue. There's De Blasio art studio. He used to be in there. He's an art agent. Maybe I'll drag him on the phone with you. And
I went and talked to De Blasio. Yeah, De Blasio. That's right. I went to his gallery. Somebody introduced us, and I helped him like figure out his whole next sort of like phase of art and why he started doing all this patriotic stuff. Happy to have a conversation with you guys, however you want to set that up.
Yeah, I can set it up.
Yeah.
So I'll reach out to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
So anybody else? Natasha, I didn't even hear from you yet. Where have you been hiding on the list? Did you want to speak to the feed question, or just have anything in general?
The feed, I guess what everybody else is kind of saying, I really would love to see the baseline chat at the top, the very first thing.
Okay.
And then maybe perhaps even have, instead of like, maybe customization, but maybe even have two options where one is see what your friends are doing, scroll, and then the other is where your channels, scroll. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it's set up now. You have to click on channels, and then you get all the different channels. But even then, you have to click a couple times to actually get the content.
Right. So when I was watching Baseline today, I had a question for you. I'm not. It's a little off topic, I guess, but it's still Baseline.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned that you have your memories from Atlantis.
Uh-oh.
Would you be okay with sharing one or two? Because I don't have any, and I think they're so cool. But it could be very private, and I understand if you prefer not to.
No, that's okay. So everybody, I'll just do broad stuff.
Yes.
Everybody thinks of how advanced they were and how they had all this amazing technology that we can't even replicate at this time. And everybody thinks, oh, therefore it must have been, you know, an amazing civilization. But let me ask you this, we have an advanced civilization at this time, and how amazing is it, right? There's a lot of problems, there's a lot of corruption, there's a lot of issues, right? And so when we look back at those times, we can't just say, oh, it was this beautiful place. Like, yeah, their architecture was incredible, their technology was incredible, and there was a lot of amazing things that we would consider miraculous happening then.
But people are people.
Yeah, and when they conquered people, which they did, anybody that they thought was not good enough or, you know, desirable enough, they lobotomized them. They literally like.
I've heard this. Yeah.
Yeah, they would shut off their brain to a point where they would have complete a zombie essentially. Like that's.
So we say us. They would do this to us.
To humans, yeah, to civilizations that they
like specifically fire on people. You know, we think for ourselves. We're crazy.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. In that regard, like if we went against the establishment there, yeah, they were just ruthless, like more so than we are now, like almost North Korea ruthless. But literally, like you would you if you were one of their slaves, you would be in your body, you would still have all of your memories and be witnessing everything, but they would have them do horrible things to each other, and like cruel, and like it would be like being locked in a hell of your own body that you can't even control. And that has a lot to do with why they were destroyed at a cosmic sort of like natural law sort of level. Because once the balance of free will gets unbalanced, you know, the whole, because we're all just aspects of the creator, right? And if one aspect of the creator dominates the other aspect of the creator, and it goes on too long or unbalanced as more than an experiment, it's like the creator cannot be dominated in that way, and it's like it ends, right? The experiment or game of it at a soul level kind of ends. So they lobotomized one too many people, you know. So if they were really all that great, they'd still be around, in my thinking, especially. Any civilization that has been able to overcome the hurdles and challenges we as a species face in their own, you know, story, and get to a place of equanimity and balance and respect and recognition that we are all reflections of one another, then, you know, those are the ancient ones, the ones that are able to sustain for many millennia, you know.
I wish I still had my memories. That would be great.
So you do, it's built into your DNA, into your cellular structure.
But like remember, you know, I mean, I know, I wish we could still remember. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of why we do our meditation, right? Because the more we're able to speak the language of the soul, because it's not in English or in Russian or in any language, right? It's really the inner language of the soul, which is more like a song, if anything. Then you can access that. Like it took me a long time to control and realize that what I was imagining were actually memories, because everything's written. It's like we are a hard drive of all of the data and information from all of our ancestors, and you just have to learn how to read it, turn on the right laser in the right spot, and you know, put it in the right context, and then it's a memory, which I think is a great segue into the meditation, right? Awesome, thank you. Let me see if we have anybody else that wants to say anything. Fong, thanks. You too. You have a great week. The system can be still transformed in a healthier and freer way. That is correct. And that's what we're here to do. So if you will, find yourself in a comfortable position. Great meeting, by the way. Thanks for all the feedback. All right, so what we're going to do is we'll do a brief relaxation visualization where we put the rose gold light through our being, get to a place of deep relaxation, and then we'll do a quick breathing exercise, which is 4 breaths in, 4 breaths out, with a pause in between the inhale and exhale and inhale. And we'll visualize energy from the earth collecting up through our root chakra, spiraling up our spines, galvanizing and energizing our body, and then pausing. And in that pause, just become more aware of your cellular structure, your atoms that make up your body. Become aware of the atoms and molecules in the air and the room around you. And then when you exhale, imagine a golden light waterfall fountain that spirals out of your crown and strengthens the auric field or magnetic field of your body, so that you can coherently structure the air around you to have that magnetic personality, increasing the capacity of your cellular structure and bodily structure to bring forth the reality of your dreams, interacting with the field in a much more pronounced and palpable way. And so then after that, then we'll do a visualization exercise where we become aware of the density of information and the universal power that's within each one of our cells, each one of our atoms, and recognize how we flow through the various densities of creation, increasing the capacity that we have for comprehension and gnosis, increasing our power and increasing our balance and harmony in the greater sphere. So we'll start with the rose gold light relaxation. So if you find yourself in a seated position or laying down, whatever's comfortable for you, and just relax for a few moments. Let go of any of the concerns, any of the consternations or fears or stresses from your day, and let them just melt off you. And we're going to picture a rose gold light coming down through our crown chakra and slowly melting through our entire being until we are filled with light. And everywhere that light touches in your body, within and without, from head to toe and skin to bones, you will just imagine deep relaxation. And as it starts at your crown and lowers through your skull, imagine any stress and concern melting off you like coconut oil, dripping down your body. And as that light comes down to your third eye and envelops your brain, just slow your thinking. Your awareness becomes deeper. And as that rose gold light goes down below your eyes and your ears, release all the tension from your forehead and your eyebrows. And release all the tension from your cheeks and your nose as the light goes further south in your being, covering your jaw and your mouth, your chin, until your entire skull is glowing with this beautiful light of consciousness. Awareness continues south on your neck, covering your throat chakra down to your clavicle, releasing all the tension in your neck, your spine. Imagine this rose gold light filling your body from the top of your head down to your clavicle and shoulders, releasing all the tension from your shoulders, your neck muscles. And the rose gold light fills up your being and goes even further south, enveloping your heart, your lungs, filling you with deep gratitude, deep relaxation and stillness, a vibrancy of life and being. As the rose gold light continues down to your solar plexus, enveloping your ribs, your abdomen. And at your solar plexus, you become comfortable in who you are and what you are, where you are. A being of divine light, of consciousness, infinite potential. The entirety of your body from your head to your solar plexus, filled with rose gold light of awareness. As that light continues down your biceps and your belly into your orange chakra, the creativity of your being is awakened and awoken. That which you desire comes to you with effortlessness and ease. And as that rose gold light continues down, covering your elbows, down to your hips, into your hips and to your root chakra, you're safe. Imagine each one of the lights from the bottom of your root chakra up to your top of your head, lighting up clear channels of open, transformative energy. As that light continues down through your thighs and your knees, down through your calves and your ankles, heels to your toes. Take a moment to be aware of your entire being full of this light of consciousness. All of the stresses of your days melting off of you into a puddle beneath you, like coconut oil dripping down your back, dripping down your front, into a pool beneath you. You are greater than your struggles. You are above your stresses. a being of divine intelligence and coherent harmony, peaceful and relaxed, warm and lit up like a light bulb of warm consciousness. Be aware of your cells, aware of the ancestors that have brought you here, of whom you are comprised, and give thanks. Give thanks for the streams of lives that have led before you, creating this harmonious, beautiful being made up of billions of cells working in perfect harmony with your intention, with your song, with your awareness. Take a moment to be grateful for your ancestry, all of the lives who have come before you, their struggles, their efforts, their loves, their longings, distilled down into the perfect notes that make up the song of you, working in balance with all of those billions of cells to provide you with the perfect vessel to understand, to experience, and to be grateful. Take a moment to just be in gratitude and floating awareness of your being in this place that you call here and now. With each breath deeper into your relaxation. We will now begin intentionally breathing, collecting the energy in the earth below us, in through our spinal column, up our chakras, with a pause and then an exhale of a fountain of light electrical energy that comes down around the egg of your aura field, like iron filings on a magnet, creating greater coherence and structure to the field around you, increasing the awareness of your being from that which is your body to that which is your spirit. We'll inhale, drawing that light tornado energy up from the earth, up our spine, and then hold it, aware of the space and the silence around you. Exhale, tornado of light around your being, increasing your coherence, and hold it. Inhale and draw the energy up your spine in a tornado of light and electrical life, and hold it. Aware of the space, exhale and spiral that energy around you into your field, and hold it. Floating in the sea of infinite oneness, draw the energy up from the earth, spiraling it up your spine. Inhale and hold it. Aware of the unity of all things. Exhale and send that energy down around your field in greater structure, and hold it. Increasing the capacity of our being by drawing the energy up our spine. Inhale and hold it. Spiraling that energy out from our crown around our being, and hold it. Floating in the infinite sea of the grand symphony. Inhale, draw that energy up your being, and hold it. In gratitude for the infinite one, exhale and spiral that energy down around your being, and hold it. Inhale, spiraling the energy up your spine, energizing your being. and hold it. Exhale the fountain of life force energy spiraling around you, organizing the atoms in the room. This time you will breathe comfortably. Within each inhale, visualizing the energy increasing into your being. And with each exhale, spiraling and increasing the coherence of your atomic structure. And as you breathe out and breathe in, be aware of the cells that make up your body. Be aware of the harmony of right now, the peace and tranquility of your being, focused on my voice and focused on the space around you, the billions and trillions of atoms that make up the room that you are in, the echoes and remnants of the emotions that you've experienced in that space, the joys and the tragedies, the loves and the longings, like animal tracks in the sand, there on the atomic structure of the walls, and the furniture, and in the very air. A field, a sea of oscillating atoms and molecules within which you are a part. Be aware of the greater structure of your being beyond your body, into the space around you, where you keep your memories, your connections with your loved ones, the ideas and inspirations from the divine realms, structured into a perfect sphere, a torus of oscillating energy and gnosis, a being of divine light, a fractal facet of the divine gem of the infinite creator, complete with infinite potential and history, comprised of infinite lives, infinite memories, of civilizations and planets long gone, at the leading edge of reality, the now. Increase your size and awareness from your body into the room, and recognize that it too is a part of who you are, a collection of your stories, housing you, protecting you, providing you comfort and safety. Be aware of the atoms of the room. Be aware that each of those atoms hold an entire history, comprised of the song of that place that you are in. Imagine you floating up above your body in that space, vibrating various atoms in that space to more readily represent you, your consciousness, your awareness. Increase your size and magnification until you are floating above that place, above that room, above that house. Using your mind's eye to become aware of the space around you, whether it is a building complex, whether it is a house, condo. Become aware of the entirety of that building. Aware of the various spaces within that building, each with their own stories, each with their own atomic structure, comprised of billions of oscillating information bits in a sea of information and awareness. Increase your size and magnification until you become aware of the city or the town or the nature around you. Full of stories, full of life forms, full of songs, a symphony of creation of which you are a part. People going this way and that, each with their own trajectories and their own life force and their own song, creating a harmonic symphony of which you are a part, holding your life force and your story within it as part of its grander story. We increase our size and magnification until we are aware of the town, the city, the state, the county, comprised of millions of people, millions of insects, millions of birds, millions of plants, and billions of air molecules. An entire sea of gnosis and information, an entire symphony of consciousness and awareness, all moving in harmony, creating the story of now, creating the song within which you are a part, whose notes comprise the great symphony of creation. Increase your size and magnification until you are floating above the nation, full of the life forces and stories of millions of people, with its own structure and its own information and its own story, its own song among the songs of the nation, of which your note, your song, is a tiny spark, yet a part that influences it. As clocks on the wall will entrain into one another, so too is your life force. And with consciousness and awareness, will entrain those around you into a harmonious state of light and love and awareness. And as we cultivate our gratitude and our understanding, we increase our size and magnification until we are floating high in the atmosphere. At the very edge of the atmosphere, look out around the world and see your fellows here as lights, as beings and collections of consciousness. And as we are there floating on the edge of the world, imagine a light beam coming from you to each one of them. An infinite and incredible light beam, a web of consciousness and coherence. The earnest, heartfelt strivings of the innocence and the youthful souls, seeking beauty and connection with the infinite creator, seeking a reflection of beauty and harmony, health and well-being in each other and in the world below. A series of potentials, a series of trajectories that the people of the world, the soul group of humanity, might traverse to find fulfillment and balance in the grand symphony of creation. And as you are aware of one another, and aware of the connections between us, and aware of the probabilities of a beautiful, beautiful and healthy world, send that gratitude down to the earth below, blanketing the earth in light and love and gratitude. And as you are doing so, be aware that there are angels around us, beings of infinite wisdom, hearkening back to the dawn of creation, who are guardians and gardeners of this beautiful place, who too wish to see it unfold in beauty and harmony, who watch over us and are glad that we journey together in beauty, journey together in innocence, and in the earnest, heartfelt strivings of the human soul. And as we increase our size and magnification, we become aware of this moon nearby, with its own story, with its own history, billions and trillions of atoms oscillating in the story of the moon, flying around the planet and bringing us the waves and the reflection of the sun's light. As we increase our size and magnification, we become aware of the spheres of the solar system, the other planets, the consciousness and awareness of those planets, stories and songs of those spheres, the history and the beings and the atoms and the molecules combining into beautiful stories, beautiful songs in the symphony of this solar system. We become aware of the sun as we increase our size and magnification to encompass the entirety of the solar system. That central spark of light, comprised of trillions of souls, overseeing the history of this planet and the other planets in this system, dreaming it into existence, providing each planet and each being in this system with the clothing, the atoms, and the molecules, comprised of the sun's longing for itself, the dream it has of its own being, exploring the symphony in this part of the galaxy. Trillions and trillions of years, trillions and infinite amount of atoms, infinite stories, infinite songs, infinite notes in the grand symphony of this system, comprised of the complete gnosis of itself through the infinite lives that it has experienced as its own dreaming, and the complex interactions between all of the planets, the complex interactions inside of each planet, all of the beings and the stories of these beings, creating a symphony of intricate and beautiful gnosis. As we increase our size and magnification, we become aware of other star systems as our own shrinks into just one pinprick of light. And we are surrounded by a sea of stars, each with their own systems, each with their own points of awareness, each with their own symphonies, comprised of infinite stories, infinite atoms, infinite beings, an entire sea of light, full of song and story and history. The entirety of gnosis comprised into density. As we increase our size and magnification, all of those lights come and coalesce together, and we become aware of the great galaxy within which we are a part. A spiraling system of infinite stars, billions and trillions of years of history, infinite atoms, each comprised of their own infinite universes. Notes of pure, undulating awareness, the gnosis of infinite beings with an infinite history, comprising a sea of information of which we are a tiny part. As we increase our size and magnification, that galaxy, our home, shrinks to the size of a pinprick of light, and we see trillions of galaxies surrounding us. Again, a sea of infinite stars, infinite songs, the grand symphony of creation, eternal, ever present, and always I am. As we increase our size and magnification, we realize that all of those galaxies coalesce into one tiny little atom. And we are floating within an atom, comprised of all of those in pinpricks of light, those infinite stories of infinite creations, cycles of life. As we increase our size, we realize that atom is comprising a molecule. And as we increase our size, that molecule is comprising cells. And those cells are within our body and our being, the human form within which we operate, comprised of billions of atoms, each with their own infinite universes within. An entire symphony of creation, eternal and unbounded. And while we operate within the bandwidth of our understanding and our civilization, these vessels within which we operate as a being and say, I am, we are truly made up of the infinite creator, a multifaceted gem of infinite possibilities, drawing upon infinite power sources, infinite atoms, full of infinite songs, the grand symphony of creation, of which you are eternally a part. Being of great density, compacted into this vessel of yours, capable of great and miraculous feats, unbounded potentials, exploring within the bandwidth of creation on this planet that we call Earth, at a time that we call 2021, where the probabilities and possibilities of a new, healthy and balanced world exist very really within you and each of us here, and the millions of others like us who are yearning and striving for this balanced world, of which we are stewards and artists, painting with our brushes, our breath, our heartbeats, our interactions, creating that world into existence at the atomic level, molecular level, social level, and galactic level, drawing upon the probabilities and possibilities of manifesting that Earth, that experience, our trajectory through the grand symphony of creation, together as one voice, one song, one sea with many waves. So it is. Aho. And as you are becoming more aware of your room, your surroundings, wiggling your toes and your fingers, coming back to full embodiment of this place that we call here and now, at your own time.
Aho.
Oh, thank you. That was great. Thanks, guys and gals.
Thank you.
Does anybody have anything they would like to say? Anything they pictured or saw that might have been different from last week? Any new awarenesses that they became awakened to, or anything at all?
I saw us swirling. We were lights and we swirled like the way birds do when they're in a mass of people. It was like that.
Yeah, a murmuration.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. I kind of experience each time we do this a deepening understanding of just what we're doing as PHIRE and what my purpose is here. You know, baseline, PHIRE, all of this is about grounding a new energetic frequency or a new pattern into the sea. It's kind of like dripping pink into or pink dye or blue dye into a fish tank. You know, it disperses, and each time we do this, it's almost like another drop in that bucket. And I am more emboldened, I am more grounded in this new probability, and it just makes me more effective as a person. And I think that I have a deepening connection with each of you, and like seen some of you in person, you know, and hopefully we'll have more and more people come to these. I've been happy that it's not been a lot of people, to be honest, because it's like there's not much to show for it I mean, the app, and yes, but like I want to have everything really well curated, and then we can start bringing more people in. But feel free to invite, if you'd like, people that you think would benefit from this. But it's been really an honor to have this deep relationship with you guys, you know, people I don't even know before, you know, a couple weeks ago. So thank you. And unless anybody has anything else to say, I will stop the recording. And